Welcome everyone. We have a lot of new faces today. We must have chosen the right subject. Must be a reason for that, right? It's a tricky subject at the moment, huh? So, yeah, fantastic. So welcome all the new ones. If you have any questions about the hall or anything else, please feel free to ask. Thank you. I can't see some of you, so if you don't mind moving a little, because I like to see everybody's faces when I'm talking. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It will cool down in a little while. We've just turned the air conditioning on. It'll take some time because all the doors were open. You will get cooler. Maybe we can, no, we bring the vane down. Are you getting some there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take a, are you getting some? Yes. Okay. If you get too cold, then you just tap Shanti on the shoulders and then she'll put it down, okay? So, thank you for coming. So the topic is relationships, and it's a hot topic today. Why? Because we see so many relationships breaking down. We see so many families suffering, and I see them regularly. Every week there's a family breaking down. What I have seen is happening, you know, from my own experience over the last 20 years counseling, is we started to become extremely selfish. It's not only selfishness, it's also lack of communication. We don't say what we think. We lie. You know, and one of the yogic, precepts is truthfulness. You can't find peace in life unless you're truthful. So many times, to diffuse a situation, we will say, it's all right, but it's not all right. And what happens is people fester the anger inside for a long time without the other person knowing. And for me, that is selfish and cowardice. Because if you really love someone and something is really bothering you, it is best to talk about it. But we fear so much the anger of somebody else, or we fear, or we lack the self-esteem to believe that we should honor our thoughts as well. We also, our egos become so big that we're so frightened that if somebody disagrees with us, we get so scared to say, well, what if they disagree with us? So there are many reasons why things go wrong. And it's not only male, female, it's through all the different walks, teenagers, parents, children, friendships. I've seen it go through it all. And that's what I have noticed. There's a lack of old scriptural teaching. Put yourself in that person's shoes. You know, whenever I don't understand something, I put myself in somebody else's shoes and think, with that personality and with that mind and with that background, is it valid what the person is saying? It doesn't make it right, but does it make it valid? Once you understand somebody is doing something that doesn't make any sense to you, then you can be kinder in your approach to them. That's all. It's kind in your approach. And I find that when we are kind in our approach to people, they open up. But you see, our approach in relationships today, it's your fault. It's you. You know, I used to laugh at my husband when he was alive, because every time there was something wrong, he'd say, that's because you did it. What have I got to do with it? It was just like anger thing, you know. If the kids were good, my children. They're bad, they're my children. You know, it's the same thing that happens in all families. Thank God for the yoga teaching, because it just, later on when I understood it, I became so totally detached, just went over my head. What a lot of nonsense, I would say. I don't even find it. I would say, what a lot of nonsense. Finish. Full stop. Make a funny face to him, and that would diffuse the whole situation. It's not true, you know? And then he would laugh, and that would be it. You see? We're very heavy in relationships. We take everything too seriously. Oh, this is happening to my family, this is happening to me. And then we create these mountains where they're none. And I have found it's all the self-absorption. all I, me, mine. I realized that I had the perfect relationship without realizing it because I was so stuck in me. What Nalanie needs this, Nalanie needs that, Nalanie needs this. And then when I switch to, instead of I, into we, what is better for both of us? What is better for the family? The whole relationship changed. It wasn't ideal, it's not perfect, but then which relationship is? Without challenges, life is no fun. If you have somebody who says yes to you 24 hours a day, you get soon bored. And I have seen those too. I have seen those relationships too. And recently, somebody just saw me a few weeks ago. Oh, I'm bored. I said, why? You got the perfect partner. So kind, so good. Yes, everything is going so well. I said, don't make the mistake. I'm bored. I said, then find an interest. You're sitting at home, of course you're bored. It's all these crazy thoughts. I want to have an affair, I want to do, and break up a very beautiful family when there's nothing wrong. It's madness. Do you know there's a bit of madness? We're looking for excitement. Why are we constantly looking for excitement? Because we haven't found it within ourselves. We're not whole. So we need people to make us happy. And the whole yogic science is become whole in yourself. Become happy in yourself. And our master said it in 3 simple words. Make sure your life is peaceful, easeful, and useful. When you have those things in your life, you're not needy. You don't want people to please you all the time. You're not bored. Your life is useful. You have so much to do. And when a small problem comes in, no big deal. It really isn't a big deal. We make big deals out of so many things because we're bored. We like drama. What can we do? We're humans. Human beings just love drama. And when we realize the drama overtakes us and makes us miserable, that's when we need to take a back seat and say, I'm making so much drama for myself. I'm doing it to me. I'm creating my own unhappiness. Nobody else is. Like this woman who is bored. She's creating her own unhappiness. And look at the knock-on effect if she didn't take that step. Instead, she's decided to study and take up a internet course, thank God. Marriage saved. But for her, because I saw that she had a perfect partner. Do you know? She had a perfect place. She couldn't see it because, the grass is always greener on the other side. And of course, there are cases where some relationships just don't work. What can you do? It's just the way it is. And we have those clients too, and they break up, and I just tell them to be as kind to each other as possible. Just be kind. You lived so many years together. Now you don't get along anymore. Why more? Fine, you both agree, both be kind, both be fair to each other. Do things properly. There's no need for all this nastiness that goes on today. The amount of cases I've seen, horrible. I said, try and remember the day you were together and how much in love you were. And try to remember some goodness. Don't tell me there was none, because that's a total lie. Again, being untruthful. You would not be with this person if there wasn't some goodness. So try to remember the good parts. If you have to go, you have to go. But make it kind, make it lovely. And then things work. You work with the highest order. When we hurt anyone in life, we hurt ourselves. You just look around you and see that. They hurt you, yes, it hurts you, but it hurts them too. When you're angry with someone, when you scream at somebody, how bad you feel afterwards. You don't feel good about yourself. You say, oh, they got me angry, they caused it. Yes, but you are feeling bad. They may have caused it, but you are feeling bad. And these are the things to look at. How can I keep myself peaceful? Okay? How can I keep myself peaceful? The practice, you have to watch yourself every day. Realize what things, get your buttons up, or what things upset you. Notice and say, why does this upset me? And this takes me away from my ease. And then change it. Simply change it. create a new program for your brain. Create it. You are the creators. They call us, all of you, I'm sure, have read New Age philosophy, which is really very old age. We are co-creators with God. If you like to put a new name to it, you know. But really, it is really co-creators with God means we as human beings can create. Now, the Bhagavad Gita tells us when we live with all these great truths of love, kindness, truthfulness, friendliness, forgiveness, without envy, without arrogance, then you are co-creating with this energy people call God or divine consciousness. It's really not important, or the force. You are co-creating because the energy of that force is love, kindness, compassion. So think, when things are not working in your life, notice there's a feeling of I want, there's a selfishness, there's an urge, there's like an addiction, there's a fear of something not moving in your life. So when you are feeling all those things, are you working in ease? You're not. You cannot be happy. You are not in that divine energy. Then you go, oh, God doesn't flow things. No, you are not making them flow. Nothing to do with the divine. The divine in the Bhagavad Gita, if you read it, says, I am in everyone, but not everyone is in me. I do not get involved with what goes on. I am just love. Upanishads, the Lord of Love. I'm just love. So the smart thing, which all human beings are not taught, is to bring your thoughts into love and kindness and goodness. Of course, this is our battle on earth. This is our challenge. This is our journey. Everything will come in our way to make it difficult. So you will get relationships will challenge you and challenge you. Why? Because that's where you get hit all the time, 24 hours a day. Can you transcend it? Can you kind of say, no big deal, this life will soon pass through. Why should I give it so much importance? I don't want to waste time with nonsense. I want to laugh. I want to be happy. So somebody's screaming at me now and calling me stupid. Am I stupid? No. So I'm going to walk away. If I'm stupid, I'll sit down and listen and get angry. But if I'm not, I'll walk away. I'm smart. Or I'll communicate with the person and say, listen, if you do this again and again and again, you'll lose me. That's it. You can't treat me like a doormat. You do it again and again, I'll say goodbye, because you can batter somebody for so long, but you have no right to battle the God in me. Because all of us are divine. We all know that. We say we all come from one source, but we say it so easily, do we really live it? So not only do we have to respect everybody, we have to learn in relationships to love ourselves first, but not in a selfish way, in a way that makes us respect ourselves. On Saturday we had a cleaning day, and a group. I know we finished by 1 o'clock, quarter to 1. We had a team of people, really, and I need to thank you all for really answering to a help call. Those who came and those who didn't come, don't worry. It doesn't matter. It wasn't important because we had just enough people. It's always the way, just the perfect amount. Any more would have been a bit chaotic. So it's true. The plan is always perfect. So if you didn't come, thank God. Don't get bad. Yeah, it's always. I see everything works perfectly, wasn't it? Yeah, and I watched everybody, working. Really, it was really dirty. Dust everywhere, people inhaling and scrubbing. I wonder if they do that in their own homes. Sometimes I don't think they do, but the dedication and the love they cleaned for this place because it was for the homeless really touched my heart. But one thing that touched me more than anything else, everybody looked happy. And I said, you see, that's again and again I see when you are involved in service, when you're not into you, and there's a lightness that comes over us. It really is quite phenomenal. This is why my master always said, the dedicated ever enjoy supreme peace. So live only to serve. actually, if you think about it, at the end of the day, we served ourselves, we became happy. Now, if we cleaned and we became unhappy, we shouldn't be doing it. Do you see? Because it's purity. There's no expectation. Why? None of us expected anything in return. So when you don't expect anything, not even a thank you, nothing in return, that you get even a thank you, you feel happy. Because it's a gift. So everybody that went that day went purely to do and not to expect. And everybody was happy doing that. It was just wonderful. You become free. That kind of action makes us free. Whereas in our relationships, in our life, we're always trying to control and possess. We try to control and possess. Nothing is yours. Nothing is mine. Everything is on loan. Everything. Today here, tomorrow gone. So quick. It's so quick. You don't know what tomorrow can bring. And I've experienced this so many times with not only myself, with people. And then they live with the regret, oh, I wish I was better to that, my family member. I wish I'd made peace. It's too late. You know the song? Yeah. It's too late when you die to admit you don't see eye to eye. It's too late. Say it in the living years. So communication. So this is just my feeling of what is happening in our world today. This is why this science of yoga, which means yoking on to the highest you can be in this life, has really, really been my passion and my wish to share it with everyone. It changed my life from what I thought was a hell into heaven, literally in 6 months. Just by changing the chip. Hell became heaven. And if I can do it, everybody in this world can do it. But then we need to constantly practice. Because you can do it for a little while, but then you go back into old patterns, old ways, old belief systems. So you can't stop practicing. So you have to keep practicing, all the time, meditate, all the time being aware, all the time practicing kindness, practicing speech, practicing what you hear, practicing, what not to say, practicing what to look at. The 3 monkeys, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Constantly working on yourself, constantly. With that work, there's enough to do in your life. You don't need anything else, and then you can see, and then you can laugh. As you grow, you can laugh at your mistakes. And if you can laugh at your mistakes, you can laugh at other people's mistakes. You won't make it a big thing when people come and tell me, oh, no, I did this, it's so terrible. Okay, it's so terrible. We can laugh, forgive it, and let's start new. Let's make a new beginning. It was terrible. I totally agree, but what's the point of making it so heavy and spending another 10 years feeling guilty about it? It's done, dusted. You can never, what's the point of talking? You're just going over the same muck. This is finished, and let's move on. How many mistakes have I made? How many mistakes we all made? Just forgive, let go, forgive, let go, forgive, let go. And I think that makes it so much easier to work with people. And now I will attend to your questions. I hope they're nice.
It's quite a few. And I see so many questions.
Let's pick up the middle of the bunch. It's nice of questions. We have always had a lot of jealousies around us as a couple. Both men and women want a piece of us and of our lives. They try to take us over and even sometimes try to come between us, which is impossible. Good for you! You will experience this when you have a good relationship. I have seen this happen. And there is jealousy. There's nothing you can do but accept it. And try not to take the jealousy personally. What can you do? You cannot change other people. And people will try and break up your relationship. I love that you say, but it is impossible. That is such a great answer. But one thing you have to learn to do is try to avoid being with people who are jealous of you. Because if they're constantly in your company, one day they can break you down when you're weak. One day they can say something about your partner that may put a thought in your head that wasn't even there, or a suspicion in your head that wasn't even there. There's a lovely story in the Ramayana, which is one of the greatest Hindu texts. They teach it in Oxford and Cambridge. And the story is, the king had 3 wives, and his eldest son, Lord Rama, was loved by everyone. Even his stepbrothers, they adored him because he was such a wonderful person. So the king had already decided that Lord Rama was going to be the next king, and everybody was thrilled. What a wonderful idea. But the third and the youngest wife was also very happy, loved Lord Rama. She had a son called Bharat. Now Bharat had gone off a little while to look at another town, another country that they owned, to see to things there. So while he was gone, Kai was the name of the third wife. Her helper, her maid, been working with her. Oh, Kai, you're the most beautiful of the queens. You know the king favors you. Don't you remember when he married you, he said, if you marry him, anything you want, he will give to you. I think Bharat, your son, should be king. And Kai goes, no. It's fine. Bharat loves Rama and Rama should be king. But every day she planted a little seed in Kai's head. So one day Kai was sleeping and she thought, it's true. My Bharat, where will he be? He'll be a no one. And the king promised me that if I married him, that one day if I asked anything, he will grant it to me. And a king has to keep his promise. So then she went to the king. She said, husband, you owe me one, they said, boon that you promised me. Yes, darling wife, anything you want, I'll give to you. I want Bharat to be king. He said, ask me anything, but don't ask me that. Ask me anything. Ask for diamonds, ask for jewelry, ask for a country in Bharat's name. I'll put a country in Bharat's name, but don't ask me this. You know this is a wrong thing to ask me. She said, well, that's what I'm asking you. And as an honorable king, you have to keep your promise. So poor King Dashrath, that was his name, had to keep his promise. And she said, not only he doesn't become king, he has to be out of this town for 14 years. He has to be in the forest. Because if he's here, nobody will accept Bharat. I want him out. So, anyway, the whole Ramayana is based on this, and how Lord Rama was so gracious, and he said to his father, Father, don't cry. You have to fulfill your promise. I will go with my wife Sita to the forest. Bharat will make a good king. You must be honorable, Father. You must keep your promise. So Lord Rama left, and as soon as he left, the father died of a heart attack and a broken heart. And Bharat, when he came back from the other country, got so angry with his mother, said, Mom, what have you done? What have you done? He would not talk to his mother again. So, from that story, which created the whole Ramayana, be careful. I would say, if you have friends that you are quite sure they're quite jealous of you, and it's quite obvious, stay away. Real friends want the best for you. They want the best for you. When they see you happy, they'll say, oh, blessed happiness. They'll want it. Be around blessings. Because when you're around blessings, the marriage grows. I have also seen in this generation quite a few couples being broken up. They've had best friends. And the best friend has taken over a partner. I've seen it so many times. So, and it all started off with my marriage is not working. Your marriage is working perfectly. I either want your wife or your husband. And then you get so close. And one day there's just so much temptation. There's so much temptation in the world. So my advice, be a little clever, stay away from those. They're not really friends. Friends would love for you to be happy. And I think those are the friends you should have in your life. And they try to take us over and even sometimes come between us. That's it. You're busy next time they call.
Yeah.
You're busy. That's what I would do. You have a good relationship, look after it, treasure it. It's a very difficult thing in this day and age today. You know, nurture each other, be romantic to each other, be kind to each other. All right? You have it, nobody should take it away from you. Be clever. Walk away. Please walk away. Okay, next question. How can we help remind ourselves that we are spirit? Okay, we'll start with a simple chant. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. That's the truth. Are you this body? Are you this body? Who were you before you came to this body? What were you before you came to this body? Spirit.
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know. But something entered into a baby's body, right? So, who are you when you leave your body? What leaves the body when it dies? Does the body go? No.
No.
The body stays behind, doesn't it? Have you seen people die?
Yeah.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what's gone?
Breath.
Prana. We call it prana. That goes with the soul. The soul goes. So, energy, call it energy. So, you were energy before you occupied a baby's body. And when you leave your body, you are energy again. Your time span in this world is short. Even if you live 100 years, it goes like this. Of course, your bad periods will drag. That's normal. But your good periods will fly. So don't let them fly. Enjoy every second. So, and that's how you remind yourself, who am I? Who am I really? You know, ask yourself all the time. That's how I did it. You know, Ramana Maharishi used to say, ask yourself constantly, do the meditation. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I really? Am I really, you know, I used to go to myself, am I really Nalanie? No, my body is on loan. It will die one day. It will die. So who am I? You know, who's the one that occupies the body? Who is the one that leaves the body? And I do this, I still do it constantly. I love it. And you know, every day read something spiritual. You know, this morning I picked up the Gita after a long time and I love to read, but recently I've had no time. So this morning, for 2 minutes, I go, oh, because I spend a lot of time in meditation. So, but I just, sometimes it's delicious to read these words, you know. So I pick up the Bhagavad Gita and I see the words, you know, that I am in everything. That's why I'm saying it to you this evening, you know, but not everything is in me. And you know, you can't name me, I'm everywhere. And I was just like so happy, so like elevated, I'm spirit. And you know, even though we know, it's lovely to hear it over and over again. Because the world is so dense, it's so full of matter. Everywhere we go, people are so materialistic. Everything is clothes, this, parties, that, this, cars, homes, and things. Everything is things. So nothing is about the spirit. What is long-term? You know, what is eternal? This is only temporary. When people die, everybody goes, oh, Nalanie, now I think I'm going to spend more time in meditation. 2 weeks later, they've forgotten again. You see how quick it is to forget? That is our challenge. That is our obstacle when we're on earth. This is why the daily practice is so important. This is why we must constantly remind ourselves. That's why I speak here every Tuesday, I speak in Gibraltar every Wednesday, and keep repeating the same things. Because as soon as we go out there, if you forget again, you're just encompassed by a powerful world that is so materialistic. And so much jealousy. Unfortunately, so much jealousy. People don't want to see other people happy. I can't understand it, you know? And that's why they're not happy. But if you love to see people happy, you will always be happy. Because you will always see happy faces. So this is and it's such a simple solution. It is such a simple solution. So read every day something spiritual. Remind yourself every day spiritual. Build up a relationship with what, for me, I have no problems with the word God because God is love. Build up that relationship inside my heart. Build it up on a daily basis. Fall in love with what's in your heart, that soul, that greatest spirit. And when you feel that love, then you're so full. So in order to feel that love, first you have to make the outer instrument, that temple, this temple, one that you respect. So this is why we say, live with non-violence, live in truthfulness, don't steal anything, don't take what is not yours. Be moderate in your life, not too much of anything, not too little also. You have too little, you feel, you have too much, you feel, you know. Gandhi said, the happy person who has neither too much nor too little. So I love being average. Be happy average. And life takes care of you. Even with your intelligence, I want to be the best in the room. I want to be the most popular. Oh, I'm the worst. Either extreme doesn't work. Who said you're the worst? Why such low self-esteem? Aren't you God's child? Didn't St. Paul say, we are all temples? So if you are given this temple, this is a loan on loan. We have to look after it. That's why we do Hatha Yoga physically to keep the body healthy. And that's why we do Bhakti Yoga, which makes us full of love, but not this emotional, possessive love that says, like this. No, that's a bit of showing, showing off. It's an internal, a great love. Then we practice Raj Yoga, which incorporates the whole thing. We practice Japa Yoga, which is repeating mantra. All these things, all these practice. And we practice Karma Yoga, which is service without expecting anything in return. And we practice Jnana Yoga, which is educating the intellect, educating your intellect into something higher. So this is how you remind yourself. All those things, every single day of your life, without a break. As Sri Patanjali says, you have to practice for
a long time, without a break, with all your heart.
And when you practice all these things, you become those things, so you start to respect yourself. Once you start to respect yourself because you don't lie, there's nothing to hide. You're an open book. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing anybody can find out about you that you haven't said, or they tell me something, I say, yeah, please go look here, please, because you're not lying about anything. Everything is an open book. You're not embarrassed to say the truth. The truth doesn't embarrass you. Then you're not hiding anything. Isn't it great? Then you're free. Your mind is free. Your mind is free. So these are the things that make you like yourself a little bit more. When the mind is free, when it's not full of poor me, and all this nonsense, then what happens is you really become a channel of the highest order in the sense of things that need to be done to serve the world or to anybody will just come to you because you're so full in yourself. You're not needy. Do you see what I'm saying? When you are needy, when you want to possess something, when you want to control, you cannot be happy. The whole idea of the yoga practices is the word moksha, freedom. While we're alive, to get up in the morning instead of complaining another day, is to get up in the morning and, wow, look at those flowers, what a beautiful morning. What can I do to make it an interesting, exciting day for me today? There's so much we can do. Even to smile at nature, feed the birds makes you feel good. Such a simple thing to start the morning with that, and not all the chatter and low self-esteem and problems and this problem. Problems will always be there. It's life, people. Life. It will always be there. Transcend them. Learn to do that on a daily basis. Make it a habit. That's all. This is a beautiful question. Thank you. Next question. How is relationship with money mirror of your relationship with yourself and divine? I know money is spiritual and it is energy. Reflects how we look at life and value ourselves, etc. I'm not so sure about that. I also know money likes boundaries. No, I also know we like boundaries, structure and discipline. I was lacking in it. Because of no barriers, people hurt me so much and money is gone again. Still can't stay with me. Relationship with money, that's a good one. Well, obviously the money goes so much because obviously there's something in you that you don't honor. You honor the money. You honor the money. Here it shows very clearly your relationship is money, is that you think money has some, money creates the boundaries. Money creates the structure and discipline. I totally disagree with that. You create the structure and the discipline, not money. Put the highest first. What does it say in the Bible? Seek me first and all its righteousness, and all else will come to you. But we seek the money first because we think money gives us position. Money makes us steady. Money makes people respect us. That's all artificial. I have seen people who've had great wealth and had loads of friends. I've had many. I used to be in high fashion at one time. The moment the money is gone, all the friends gone. Who's left? Just me and my husband. All the hundreds who used to have their champagne and their parties, all gone. No money, no friends. And you know, who would want that? I wouldn't want that for my life. You know? So, do not mirror yourself. Money is an object and an energy like anything else. It's a beautiful energy when you are not possessive of it or control it or want it to come a certain time in a certain way, and when you're not hiding it in the bank or selfish with it. Money rolls when you roll it. Money rolls when you share it. I have seen people who know how to give receive a lot. I've seen people who are always worried about money lose it. Our master always tells a story. He said, you know what people do is they have so much money, they put it in a safe at home. They have this big safe and jewelry and all that. They don't wear it. They don't enjoy it. They don't share it. Maybe they enjoy it for themselves. They don't share it. And then they're so protected of the money that one day thieves will come and take it all away. So nothing is yours. Nothing is yours. We don't know. Money is an energy. It's a wonderful energy. Like water is a wonderful energy. Everything, nature is a wonderful energy. Everything is a wonderful energy. But we should be able to control money. Sometimes people go, oh, I'm very spiritual. There's also no, I want to give everything away. That also doesn't work. Because I see many people come into yoga, sorry if I can be so blunt, and they say, they don't want to work for a living, and let me just give some yoga classes, and I'll make my money that way. Fine, you can make your money that way. But you will see that if you just, when they start with the love, I've seen when people say, I want to do yoga because I want people to benefit from it, and the money is the secondary, they do very well. Because what they will do is they will say, okay, this is my charge, let's say 10 euros an hour. But however, if you can't afford that, you can still come. The people who can afford will pay for those that don't afford. And then they prosper. But I have seen people, no, it's 10 euros. You can't come if you can't pay the 10 euros. So what happens? It blocks itself. It blocks itself. The energy is now possessed, right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's no problem making money. But you also have to look after yourself. So I tell the yoga students, oh, Nellie, am I wrong to charge? No, you're not wrong to charge. The wrong thing you have is always thinking about the money. You're always thinking, how much should I charge? How much should I do? Okay, you want to charge 10 euros an hour. A friend calls you up. I can't afford it. Come, no problem. Don't get so stuck with money. Make it an energy. Yes, you have something to say.
Can I ask another question for this? What about if you, has it happened ever that you start like that, but I have seen people telling me, I'm not talking about yoga, but telling me about like my work, I don't have money, and then I see them actually spending that money to totally different thing. Like I go across the street and I see them in some place putting much more money away than.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
absolutely.
do you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
sorry, it happened to me. Do you know what happened in the early days when I started teaching about 20 years ago and I stopped, I didn't charge, right? And I'm not saying not to charge, right? I do say people are not really honest and truthful till they learn to be honest and truthful. And many times they wouldn't, and in my case I didn't even charge. We asked for a £3 donation per class, which is nothing. Okay? £3, and it wasn't even coming to us, was going to the yoga center, totally. Oh, Nalanie, I can't afford. No problem. No problem. Doesn't matter. What happens? In those days, there used to be video clubs, right? And they put £2. I see them at the video club box getting 3 videos for £6. And they're saying they're so poor, they can't pay for a class. So I had a little bit debate about this in my mind. And then I thought, you know what? If they lie, that is their karma.
Exactly.
It is their karma. I can't go into everybody's life. I have to live the way I believe. And if they're cheating me, that's their karma. It is not mine. Let it go, Nalanie. So what happened was I let it go. And you know what? We got 2 centers now. We got centers all over the world. We're never poor. Money comes in. We got so much that we can give to so many different charities. I don't know how it works. You saw the other day we needed for the soup kitchen, 3,000 euros just came, sitting. It works. You know, I don't ask for anything. My brother came and visited me 2 weeks ago. He saw the work we're doing, never asked for a penny. Oh, Nalanie, I'm going to build you an extra floor because you have so many guests here that you invite all the time and look after. You still need some space. I'll build you an extra. Did I ask for it? No. He saw my granddaughter who's special needs. And obviously she's really expensive. And my daughter and my son-in-law works very hard. And whatever little I have, I try to share with them. What happens? He saw that. He goes, I will pay for all Talia's education for as long as I live. And that's the most expensive because she's special needs. And you know, so do you see, we didn't even, neither my daughter asked. Things go difficult, we cut. We don't, you know, we just cut all the things that we have to cut, no clothes, no this, no that. We're happy to cut. We're so happy to cut. You just cut and things go right, then you enjoy more. You enjoy more, that's all. You just, things are going bad, let's cut. And it just works. I don't know how it works. All I can tell you is I just stuck to it. For 10 years I had this dilemma with money. For 10 years. Because I had a lot of people who are so wealthy and would not even leave a donation. Doesn't matter. I never got offended. I just said, this is my way to God. I want to learn. I want to see if this theory works. I wanted to test it myself. I really wanted to test it to see if it worked. But it has to be done with love. See, charging is not a problem. It's greed that is the problem. Yeah. Money is not a problem. Money is our gift. It's great. You know, I always say all the yogis make so much. They'll know what to do with it. They'll share it. They'll laugh with it. They'll make people happy, you know. And great. Everybody, you know, if you see Hindu texts, some of the greatest saints were very wealthy. Lord Krishna was extremely wealthy, wore jewels and diamonds and everything. You see the Hindu gods and goddesses, they were all adorned rituals. They were not poor because they didn't think money was an energy. It's just an energy. It is our obsession with it that makes it go away or come. It's our worry about it constantly. As you think, it becomes. So you're constantly worried about money, the money will run away. It doesn't, all this thinking, the whole day thinking about money. As you think, it becomes. You know, long ago when I was going through a very difficult time with my husband, this is before the yoga days, I used to say the word, oh, I can't afford, and feel bad. I can't afford this, all my friends could afford. And I didn't like to tell my father that I was going through a difficult time because I loved my husband very much. And I didn't want anybody in my family to think even a bad word. You know, I can fight with him, but nobody should say a bad word about him. You know, he was my husband. So I always wanted to protect him. So I would never tell my parents, oh, this went wrong or that went wrong. I just didn't. I loved him too much for that. And you know, when we were going through a difficult time, I used to go to Hong Kong and everybody, oh, we're going to attend my cousin's wedding and you need this and you need that. And I was, I can't afford that. And my mother and my father said, never say that. Never say those words. God is abundant. And of course, the sari was provided for me by my mom, my dad got the jewelry. Do you know, they just organized it all. So never say you can't afford. But Dad, I can't. The truth is, I can't. Do you see how I was really not thinking abundance? I really can't. I really can't. You don't understand. You don't understand. But when I started yoga, I kept on thinking, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. And one day, look, I'm abundant. I'm so abundant. So I think it's a journey through money. I think it's a learning. I think it's a letting go. I think like all relationships, it's the non-possessive unit that gets you in trouble. When you're non-possessive of it and you just enjoy it. I'd also like to speak to you about a couple of business people I had met who are very successful. And they were very successful and then they lost a lot of money. Maybe the business deal went bad. And I asked one of them, and then a few years later, I see them, they've made it again. So I asked this man, who I was very fond of, I said, you know, please tell me, how do you do it? You just lost millions, you lost everything, and then a few years later, you built it up again. How do you do that? I said, oh, because I just knew I would. I just lost it, no big deal. I knew I had the energy, I know I have the intelligence, I know I just have to suffer for 3 or 4, whatever it takes, I know I can make it again. And then my brother was the same way, Madge that you're working with, same, he lost millions so many times. Start again. There's no fear. And they, you know, they have that energy. It's abundant. And I see that they do it. And I see the people who lose money and then they worry and worry and worry. They get so worried about the money that they get worse and worse and worse and worse. So it's the attachment. Do you see what I'm saying? How to let go of that attachment. That is what you need to learn. Yes?
Thank you very much, Nalanie. I just would say it was my question.
Oh,
I think I wrote it again on the small paper. So.
Okay, thank you for being so truthful.
Thank you very much for you already gave me so much answer. It was what I wrote. Maybe my English is not my native language, so what I wrote about the boundaries and discipline. The people, successful people I can see, they make money because they have practice, discipline. So this is what I.
Okay, yes. If you want to be good at anything in life, anything, and let's say you need money because you want to make it, yeah, then yes, you have to have a discipline. You need to work hard. Everybody I know that makes money in a right way, in an honest way, they work hard. They work hard. So you do have to have work ethics, and you have to work hard, and you have to have boundaries. Yes, you do. That way, yes.
This is was because I used work hard, and recently, a year ago, something I had really money. I invested in my education and the back, but somehow the money, it's always gone. It was heritage, my house, it's like somehow gone.
Well, maybe because so you can sit here and realize money is not your focus, that it's leading you somewhere else. Maybe the focus in your life was money, even though education, etc., but it was still money. And maybe you needed to lose that attachment. And now when you make money, and you will, and think of, a new way, a new beginning, a better way.
True. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're so welcome.
You
Yes.
had something.
And
What? Yes, can I ask, if you're in a situation where you have no money,
yes.
whatever your beliefs are, where does it come from? If you cannot feed yourself, you cannot, you know, look at all these many people who are homeless like
Yes.
that home.
Yes.
If they have no money and they have no wherewithal of how to go and try something new, how do they exist? What are they existing on? Where is the help coming
I
from?
don't know. I really have seen like these people who are homeless, right?
Mm.
This home that Begonia is running. In the last so many years, it's only been 12 people in the home. Because there were only 12 people that were really homeless. Other people had their families to help them or some kind of situation to help them. I have now, for example, and they were looked after fine there. Now the need is so much greater that the 12 people in one home is not enough. What has happened? The mayor of Algeciras gave her this property that can now put in 65 people. And you saw the woman that was in pink, who'd been homeless for 53 years. And she was in pink, she was smoking, broken teeth.
Strong girl.
Yeah, strong woman.
Very strong.
She'd been on the streets for 53 years. And she was so happy cleaning with all of us because she's finally going to get a room.
Yeah.
You know? How did she survive 53 years homeless? They do. There is some kind of law that I see that just feeds them. And when I get so, wow, how does this work? I read the Bible, the New Testament, and where it says, see the lilies, I can't quote it exactly, see the lilies on the fields, how they prosper, and look at the birds on the trees. They don't worry, but everything is provided for them. Will not my Father in heaven do more for you? And I read that constantly. When I was younger. I haven't read it now. That's why I haven't quoted it so well. That was like about 10 years ago when I started all this. Answers. I wanted answers like you. How do they get it? But they do. The thing is, they do. And when there is a need, I see an idea go into somebody's mind, and I see somebody, when they're ready to take on that project, they become the instrument to help those people. It just works. Like we became instruments to help Begonia to clean the place. She's very good at looking after them emotionally and feeding them, but she's very bad at administration and organizing people. She just doesn't have time. So what happens? Somebody calls me, I get the message, I know you, I send help. So do you see how it works? I don't know how it works. It's magic to me. It's magic to me. And just when I see these things happen, I say, wow, God used me to help His children. And that's how I feel inside. God used me to help children, my brothers and my sisters of this world. That's how I feel in my heart. That's how I think in my mind. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for allowing me to serve. Thank you for allowing me to help. That's how I feel. You know, I feel so privileged that I've been chosen to help or to serve or to lighten up. To lighten up. So like me, there are millions of other people with the same feeling, So, and I see it just was amazing how it works. Yes.
I just wanted to say, my mother was the one who's always saying, we are not going to have, we are not going to have, we are not going to have. But all the time magic happens, like you said, like universe said, oh, here you have. And
Yes.
that's what she keeps, we are not going to have it.
So you see, you have both structures in your mind.
It's,
You have the total faith, but you remember the words of your mother. So there's a little bit of stuck
exactly,
there.
yeah, exactly.
Follow your faith. Follow your heart. Just follow it. Yes.
I was very afraid of money. Probably all my young youth, and always counting, like, can I afford to do this and can I afford to do that? And I remember when I came here and we just moved from abroad and took a loan to come here, and didn't really know anyone, and the same thing that being really nervous, can we make it? And I remember you were telling to me that Sari, just do the best you can every day and leave the rest of the universe, and that made it.
I'm so glad.
And incredible miracles have happened. Incredible. I'm just concentrating what I do, and and things are just rolling. It's amazing. I'm so free with money now.
Wonderful. Doesn't it? It's freedom. It's freedom.
Ooh.
And it's wonderful when you feel free from that feeling. Oh no,
It's amazing.
attachment.
It's
It
so
really is such a
It is.
freedom. It is. Just think abundant. Abundance, yes.
But like when you were in the case with your parents and you said, I can't afford that, I can't, you want to have it, but you can't have it, and you didn't really know the way to say it, and they said, please don't say that to you. I feel like sometimes I have that same situation with my kids when I want to tell them, well, we can't have that right now. But I don't want to say it to them so they feel like she did with her mom. Oh, mom says we don't have it. It's such a fine line.
It's a fine line. It's how you tell them. It's how you tell them. What can we do? We don't have it now, but look how much we do have. But things, life is sometimes difficult. Life is sometimes easy. Now we're going through a difficult period. We need your help. That's what we told our grandchildren. The last 3 years with the property market going down, which is what my son-in-law is doing, and it's picking up again, so it's good. But we said, well, why can't all my friends have this? We got Talia, we got this, we got that, we need your help. How can you help us, And the children help. When you tell them like that, we're working hard, we're doing our best. And then you talk to them. And then you talk to them about spirituality. Money isn't the most important thing. You tell them stories, I tell my grandchildren stories all the time. But what is more important? Obviously they're children, they're going to do that. And you just have to be very truthful, with great love and no fear. We don't have it right now, but I'm not fearful. It's once my father lost all his money, I remember, in Vietnam. He had many shops, and they got bombed, during the Vietnam War. And he came home, and I'll never forget, I was 14 years old, and he said to Mom, we've lost everything. And my mom goes, what will we do? What will we do? And I remember him saying, oh, Chandra, don't worry, we'll just make it again. Don't worry, with 7 children, 5 brothers, all living in one house, one big house with 52 bedrooms to support. And he goes, don't worry, Chandra. And then what happened? Opportunity came. It was 67. There were riots in China. We thought the communists will take over Hong Kong. Property prices went all the way down. Smart got a loan from the bank, bought one of the prime properties, and built a hotel. And guess what? How many millions is that property worth today in Hong Kong? So you see, something happens, but you have to be brave also. You also have to be brave. They took a risk. They could have lost it all. But the women were so supportive. My mother and my aunt told my father and my uncle, we had the jewelry you've given us, because Indians love to give jewelry in weddings. We will sell it all. You see, so combining the love, without fear. It's the without fear thing. Hmm? If you talk about money without fear, that's the secret.
Yeah.
You can tell anybody the truth. I can do it now, I can't do it now, this is not a good time for me. But who knows what will happen next year? Without fear. Okay? If they feel the fear in your voice or the lack, that's when it will go in. But when they feel the no fear, so what? We have to make do. Want to complain? You complain. We have to make do. You can't have it. Full stop. It's not a bad thing. Good for you. You'll learn a little bit. I tell my granddaughter, good for you. You'll learn a little bit of, moderation in life. It's good for them. No big deal. Let them complain. No big deal. It's good for them to have everything is not good for them. They will never learn to appreciate everything. I'm so pleased. I think life is very, very, very a great blessing for these children. You have everything. I know children who have everything. I see so many of them. They're so miserable. Long faces. They're so bored. They are so bored. So this is, I hope thank you for saying that. So that answer your question? You look perplexed.
I think it's just the way one goes about the following one's thoughts with regards to things that are that fine line between, am I afraid of this? Is this controlling me? To be able to
Yes,
really
this is,
see.
You see, this is why the practice of sitting down in quiet and watching the way you think will teach you a lot. Otherwise, it's just cluttering of thoughts. And then analyzing it. Am I really fearful? If you're really fearful, why am I so fearful? Why am I so fearful? Why am I so fearful of money? Why am I so fearful of losing this? Why am I so fearful? Do I really want to live in this fear? The answer will be nobody likes to live in fear. So what can I do? What can I do to make myself less fearful? Then you find out, who am I? Who am I really? Am I this body? Am I this mind? The more you focus on who you are really, then you realize that life is too precious to waste worrying. Then by itself, all these fears will drop you. By itself, just by the practice. The fears start to leave you one by one. That's the way it worked with me. Slowly, slowly practice every day. My practice has been 25 years non-stop. I have not missed a day. Sick, in hospital, on the plane, in a flight. I made a promise, I stuck to it, and I haven't broken it to this day. So, you have to be really, how much do you want it? Sri Patanjali tells us, how much do you want your peace? If you really want it, he says to the keen and intent practitioner, this samadhi comes very quickly. Samadhi is the state of peace, the oneness, very quickly. But you have to be the keen and intent practitioner. Nobody can do it for you. I can only do it for me. You can only do it for you. So I remember in the early years, I used to have tapes. We didn't have MP3 and all that. And every day I would sit down 1 hour for meditation, half an hour for hatha yoga, and 40 minutes a day I used to listen to my master speak. I did this for over 10 or 15 years, so long. I think I only stopped when I moved to Spain, which is 6 years ago. Every day. So my morning would be like 4:35 in the morning. But I got so much energy from that the rest of the day was so easy to face. You see? It was that gave me the energy and the prana and the power to face the rest of the day. So after the meditation, I carried on working, doing everything normally. But I had given myself my own time to study myself. No, I'm not saying you all have to do that. I'm not saying that. I always tell people start with 5 minutes a day. That's how I started. I just became an addict of peace and quiet. That's all. That was my addiction, still is, peace and quiet. I love it. It's my time with God. I love it. I love it. I say it's my time alone every day, and nobody can interrupt It's my time. So for me it's easy. Many people find it difficult. So I say spend 10 minutes. That's how I originally started. When I realized how good it was doing me, what good it was doing me, I increased it by itself. So, and then now it's just like, it's because you do it for so long, it's part of you now. Do you see what I'm saying? You develop a habit, it becomes part of you. That's all. How's my time? 15 minutes. Staying in marriage out of pity for the one who doesn't want to split up. Staying in a marriage out of pity for the one who doesn't split up. Well, that never really works, does it? When you stay with anybody out of pity, because you always feel like the martyr, and you always feel bad, and you always feel horrible, and you say, I'm staying because I feel sorry for you, so you're not doing anything for the other person, because you make them feel lousy. How can that work to start with? That's the wrong reason to stay with anybody, is pity. But before you say you're staying with somebody out of pity, there's a very strong statement. What is it that is so pitiful about this person? Or is there something very pitiful about you that you haven't even noticed? Ask yourself that question first. Because my master taught me a really interesting thing when I first did counseling with relationships. And I used to say to him, Gurudev, what do I tell these people? Nothing is working. I don't like to advise them to leave. What should I, unless they're beaten up or something. And he goes, Nalanie, you answer them. When a pot is too hot, will you say, should I hold on to it? No, you'll just drop it. Correct? So if a marriage is that bad, will you hold on to it? You won't. You will drop it. You will drop it. You cannot even be there a moment longer. You can't deal with it. You drop it. The fact that you're thinking pity, not pity, is that obviously there is something, reading behind the lines, that you're not really sure of as well whether you really want to leave. Yes, you feel sorry for the other person and you really believe that you're staying there for that. But ask yourself, is there an element of you being frightened to move out as well? Is there an element of being alone that you're fearful of? You have to ask yourself those questions first. But if you have asked yourself all those questions, and you've still come up with pity, don't insult the other person. If you don't love the other person, I think they deserve better. They deserve somebody who loves them, as I believe all of us deserve to be loved in the world. And you deserve to live better, rather than in a state of pity and I'm feeling sorry for you. It's not a nice state to live in. You don't feel good. It makes you wishy-washy. It makes you like, I'm such a good girl or good man. I'm such a good person. Is it goodness? I always say weakness is not goodness. If you really feel you're staying with a person out of pity, then you really must inform this person in a very kind way. I want the best for you. I want you to be happy in your life. And you don't want somebody like me who pities you. It's the wrong reason. So I want to set you free so you meet somebody that loves you and doesn't pity you and has a great time with you. As I want to meet somebody who will love me and treasure me. But you will only do that when the pot is too hot. Maybe you still have karma there. Sorry. It sounds like it. I'm sorry. Still learning. There's still more to learn in that relationship. Not yet finished. if you love unconditionally, how do you keep your own boundaries there, Nan? You don't even think boundaries. When you love unconditionally, there's no boundary. You don't think boundaries. You don't have that word in unconditional. It's not unconditional love. It's conditional. The moment you have boundaries, it's conditional. That's the only way I can answer it. When it's unconditional, there are no boundaries. It's unconditional. There are no, zero. You know. Total acceptance, total love. You laugh when something goes wrong. You laugh when something goes right. Then it's not unconditional love. Good question. What is the best quality to bring into any relationship? Make it romantic, make it fun. Make it fun, make it full of laughter, fill it with spirit, fill it with meaning. Get up in the morning, ask your partner, how are you today? You know, are you happy? Is there anything I can do to make you happy? Don't make them laugh right away. Tell them how beautiful or how handsome they are. Just do that. You know, that's what you can do. Make it wonderful. I love you. How can we have a nice day today? Good morning, it's sunny. Let's have a romantic time. Yeah, that's how you can do it. People stop having fun. Why? They have so much fun when they meet. They do so many nice things. And then suddenly children, they blame the children. You know, I blame the children. And I tell them, you know, poor children. You want to bring the children, it's the children's fault, you know. Nothing to do with the children. I say, pay for a babysitter once a week. My husband and I did it. Even in the most difficult times, we did that. Gave us 34 years of good marriage while our children were growing up. You know, soon they grow and they leave, and then you have a second stage of honeymoon again. But it is a lot more work when you have children, but you should make time for your partner. You should also, because when the children go, what are you left with? Your partner, that's it. So many times I think people give the children everything, which spoils them also. You know, you should make some time for your children, but also make some time for your partner. Very important in a relationship. And I owe that to my mother. She taught me that. When my father had a lot of social, you know, when he was starting to make a lot of money, because he was, he was doing a lot of things. And he was nearly out every single night. Mum was with us all day. And she would say, look, I'm going with your dad. He needs me too. Sticks in your mind, doesn't it? He needs me too. Okay, Mom, we watched TV, we had maids in the house, and we were lucky, no problem. We didn't think of it as a big thing. I told my children the same. Going out with Dad, we need our private time from a very young age. So they learn to respect your time. Teach children to respect your time. Nowadays, I see everything is the children, and everybody's, I want to be a good mother, I want to be a good father, but it's too obsessive also. Children also need their own space. They love their space. And when you're always on top of them, telling them what to do, this activity, that activity, that activity, that activity, they have no space to create. We were left as children to create games and to make up stories and to do plays and to have so much fun. We had to create. Nowadays, this activity, Monday ballet, Tuesday this, Wednesday that, Thursday this, Friday, mother is going crazy, father is going crazy, children are going crazy, all going nuts. Isn't it the truth? It's too much stress. What happened with playing in the garden like these kids are doing today? It's so healthy to watch them playing with a dog running up and down the garden. I'm sure that's why I have a dog, so my grandchildren, when they come and play with the dog and not the computer, do you see? It's good for them.
The same thing that happened to us. My great nieces came to stay with us, and they're always on the computer and they do wonderful things. But we put a car tie, an old car tie with a piece of rope on, and they were swinging in the garden, and they were in the garden in little boxes, and they were making dens out of them.
You see,
It was just such a wonderful thing to see.
it is so wonderful.
It arrived today.
Yeah.
Would you like 3 more?
There's 3. They've just jumped in the pool and they've been playing with water.
Yeah, it's lovely, you know? Yes.
But not on the computer. That's driving me bananas.
But you love them. But you love them, otherwise you wouldn't have them home. Enjoy them, they soon grow. Enjoy them, have fun, laugh with them. Tell them jokes, they love jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing I saw recently was the original PlayStation. It's a tree.
A tree.
Oh, there is a tree. Okay, got it, thank you. Yes, it does, yes, absolutely. The original PlayStation was a tree.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, look at this. So yes, make your relationship interesting. Be romantic. Dress up for each other. You're not to know I'm with you for so long, can't be bothered. Men get a bit tired. Women get sloppy, you know. No, look after yourselves. Dress for each other, care for each other, you know. Say nice things to each other. Never forget to say nice things. Be kind. Do something to surprise the other person that they don't expect. Don't complain when you do more than your share of housework. That's a real surprise. No, just do things, They come home one day for dinner. You can't be romantic every night, but once in a while, put on the candles. Male or female alike, doesn't matter. The male has to do it as much as the female. Because we come to a new age, and men, you love romance much more than we do, deep in your hearts, because I have learned something. Men are very easy. You just tell them you love them all day long and they'll do anything for you. They're kind. They're very kind.
All those very words. It's very words to me yesterday.
What, did Ole say that to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite simple. They just like attention and nurturing.
I said-
But, yes.
No, I said we're like donkeys.
Yeah.
You really appreciate us. We will carry anything, however long. We will do anything for you. We're so simple, most of us.
You are. You really are. You just, and you really want to look after. You really, men have this thing that they want to look after, but nowadays women want to take over. And this is our mistake.
Can I also say what I also said was nagging eats our brain.
Yes, it's so bad
It
for you.
is so
bad.
the wrong
So bad
thing.
for me, so bad for women too. I have a friend who has a husband who nags all day. And I go, is that what many women sound like? Da-da. I think I'd go crazy. I feel so sorry for people who nag. I think it's a horrible thing. Da-da, all day long. Oh my God, what a song to listen to. So, same thing, isn't it? It's always the same thing. So drop it, and if you can't change somebody, change yourself. You can't change anybody, just change yourself. Just change yourself. Make yourself interesting. So interesting that they can't, they want to be with you. And then also have your quiet moments. Respect each other's quiet moments. Give each other space. This is also very important in a relationship. I suggest to couples, have time away from each other every year. Even if it's 1 week or 10 days, do it. Because when you see the person all the time, you take them for granted. The grass becomes greener, everything is you're too used to it. It's the human mind. So but when you go away for 10 days and you come back, then you really, I missed you. 2 or 3 days is not enough. Not enough. Because they will say, I was actually managed to do everything fine. That's what you get. Yeah, not enough. It has to be 10 to 14 days when they start to really miss you.
That's too long.
See? You start to miss. See? You start to miss. That's good. So in your case, a week is enough. See? So you can tell your partner, a week is enough. That's enough for me. That's great, but you have the week, because then you get that feeling, oh, I'm so excited to see the person again. You renew your relationship. And it gives you time to think, also, both of you, space in your mind, you know, to think, to know you, to have some time with yourself, to understand yourself as well. So it's important to know who you are in the relationship. Yes.
What about if there's like 3 weeks away and then you start missing so much that you cannot even function anymore?
Go back.
That's hard. That's hard.
Then you
That's
start
hard.
feeling kind of weak because it's like, you know.
What kind of weakness?
I mean weak, like, you know, it's, you know, like kind of like needing the person to be next to you. So to
This is a good test to strengthen yourself. That feeling is you're strengthening yourself. You have to go through tapas to be strong.
Yeah.
Well, 3 weeks is long, but it makes you realize how much you love the person, that it hurts to be away from someone. I think really 10 days is good.
Yeah.
You know, 7 you really start to miss, like this gentleman said. And by 10 days, thank God you're home. I'm so happy you're home. But sometimes there is business, and nowadays with credit crunches, a lot of people have to be away from each other sometimes because of jobs. I think more than 6 weeks is really too much. It breaks down the relationship. It does. I see then it goes the other way. Yeah. So you see, everything is moderation. Have you seen? Everything is moderation. Not too much, not too little. And on that, I am sorry, I have a dinner out today, so I have to finish on time. But should we have these questions for next week? Next week is the last session. Should we continue with the same subject? Yes? And if there are more questions, please bring them in for next week. And I think, I'm sorry for those I didn't answer the questions. Please forgive me. Hopefully next week I'll do them all. And I hope it's made a difference. I hope it's, made you think about your life and people in your life. They're very important. Think carefully in a relationship. It's very easy to break something. It takes years to build. So if you've worked hard and you have some element that is really loving in it, go through the difficult times together. Because then you will be jewels together in your old age. Because that's when the relationship really gets comfortable. Think carefully before you break anything. Also, if a thing is so bad and you are staying for the wrong reasons, think carefully too. Don't waste your life in misery. It's very short. If you're so miserable in your relationship, neither can you find peace, neither can you find God, neither can you have you can't get on with life. You can't create. So think clearly either way. And be very sure before you make these big steps. Take time away, think, fix yourself. My advice is fix yourself always first and then say, why do you have these feelings? And then, when you fix yourself, then automatically, if you're not meant to be with the person, you will drop the pot will be too hot. It will just happen. Don't think so much. So I wish you all a lot of love in your life and a lot of laughter. Laugh more, please. Laugh more. Go out tonight or go home tonight and just decide you're going to have a laugh. And if you are not in a mood to laugh, turn on a comedy. Sometimes I see so much seriousness all day. You know what I watch? Big Bang Theory. Because it's so stupid. It's such a silly comedy. Yeah. It's so silly. It makes me laugh. So I watch it because, to lighten the mind. Because sometimes it's so heavy because my work is heavy. So what's the point to have all those thoughts in my mind? So something just easy, funny, ridiculous, make you laugh, and then you go to bed, so silly, so happy, so cheerful. Rubbish movie, but I'm having a good time. So it really doesn't matter, Sometimes it's really important to just keep it light, keep it light, keep it light, all right? Light means you'll see the light inside. Heavy means you'll drown in the darkness. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much. We'll finish off with 3 ohms if you don't mind. And if you don't mind, I'll just sneak out the door tonight and I won't stay and talk to all of you like I always do. Please forgive me as I have to be in because of my feet. So. Please close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Peace and joy, love and light. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu. May the light of truth overcome all the darkness.
Victory to the light.
Jai Shri Satguru Satchidanandji Maharaj ki Jai. Jai. Jai, all of you, Ji. Jai to all of you. Jai means victory. Victory to the mind, victory to the light, so that we can live a good life. So live a good life, sure. Yeah.